Hey guys, welcome back. I had an idea to start making some videos about debunking toy claims. This is not to throw shade at anybody who owns any of these toys, because I might own some of them, but I just see it all the time where toy companies are just making bukus of money, making claims that their toys offer certain skill development. And I was thinking, like, we can do this ourselves. Like, we don't have to go out and spend all this money thinking that we have to have certain items in our house so that our kids can develop certain skills. I was walking through the grocery store the other day and I saw these really adorable sensory kits that were being sold. Now, let me just tell you, I am a sucker for really cute themed toys like a sensory kit. But the more experience that I get, I realize there are just really practical, functional, everyday activities that kids can have that facilitate the same skills. So some of the things this toy claims to facilitate to kiddos: it fosters imaginative play. So I'm assuming that's these little miniature characters that are in the package. It develops fine motor skills. I think some of these kits have like little tweezers, or even just holding the miniature figures in here. Even the Play-Doh can be used for fine motor development. And then it promotes sensory development. It's kind of ambiguous as to what senses it's trying to develop, but I'm assuming that because it's scented Play-Doh, that's the olfactory sense. And then with the sound tube, that's the auditory sense. Here are 3 different activities that you can facilitate in your home for your kids to develop the same 3 types of skills with little to no money, just things that you already have around. And they're just more creative, more practical and functional skills for your kids. Here we go. Any kind of building activities. And for us right now, that is using things outside like scrap wood and blocks and rocks, things that they can build little hidey holes or little forts outside. If it's raining, or if you prefer to keep the kids inside for whatever reason, any kind of fort materials would be excellent for this, like blankets and chairs and pillows or tables, anything that they can do for building. This offers a lot of imaginative play. There are kind of infinite opportunities for that, how they want to pretend by themselves or together in a pair or in groups. This offers a lot of fine motor development too, because they're using their hands for all of it. Strengthening their hands, they're having to grasp different materials in different planes of movement. They're having to pull and stretch or push or stack or move things around. It offers a lot of opportunities to build those fine motor skills, because once you have the strength in your hands and your hands have been used to moving in different ways, they can more easily focus on the intrinsic skills that require more precision for things. And then this also offers a lot of sensory development too, because visually they're being exposed to tons of stuff outside or inside. They're having to find different things to build things with. Auditory senses, if you're outside, I mean, that's infinite possibilities. The olfactory sense of smell, they're smelling cow manure, or they're smelling flowers or freshly cut grass, or the smell of rain, which brings me to the tactile sense of rain, like they're feeling rain hit them, or they're kneeling in the mud or in the wet grass, or they're feeling different wood and rocks and dirt on their hands. Next one is making music. Now, this can be something they can do completely independent from you, or you can get involved. They can either play a structured instrument with supervision or without, totally up to you. Our kids really love playing this baritone ukulele, or they like to listen to music while they're playing different things in the house. The kids also just recently made their own band. And obviously you see here, these are not instruments, but they made music out of these random objects in our house. And we had an entire 30-minute showcase of their musical skills. This offers a ton of imaginative play because they're pretending they're in a band or that they are singing on stage somewhere. It offers a lot of fine motor development, again, because they're having to grasp certain tools or hold different instruments in a certain way. Or if you're plucking strings or you're doing the piano, you're having to isolate finger movements and different pressure to push the keys. And in terms of sensory development, the auditory system is definitely getting some exposure there. With the noise level that they're playing at, are they doing things softly or are they being really loud with it? Are they playing high pitch noises or are they going all the way down to like a baritone key? I'm not musical, but that's what I think it is. And then finally, facilitate some kind of an art project. This doesn't have to be a super in-depth art project. Recently, we did a quick berry painting project. This was something when Mom was overwhelmed that day and it was tons of questions from the kids and there was tons of stuff that I had going on personally. And it was like, you know what? We need a little bit of a reset. For lunch, we're having cottage cheese with berries on top. And I thought out some frozen berries beforehand and I let them paint with the berries on the paper before they actually put the berries in their cottage cheese. And they had so much fun and it was actually a really wholesome reset for us. But any kind of art project is great for these specific skills we're talking about. This could be cutting and gluing things. This could be coloring or painting. Our daughter has a little pottery wheel that she's been into lately. Art projects foster tons of imaginative play because they either feel like they are a certain character or playing a certain role while they're creating something, or they're just coming up with really creative ideas to execute in their art. It also offers a lot of fine motor skills because yet again, there are various skills, extrinsic, which is like the larger muscles of the hands that you need, all the way down to like the fine intrinsic muscles that you're using, whether it's to hold a crayon or a marker or holding this teeny tiny paintbrush to dip it in the paint and then use it on the paper, or different pottery, depending on how big it is, you might have to cup it larger, working all the way down to using your fingertips to kind of shape the items. And then finally, the sensory development. There's a lot of tactile senses that are happening here because you're getting your hands messy or you're exploring different mediums like paint or water or berry juice or clay. Lots of sensory exposure there. So these are just 3 ideas for replacing a sensory kit toy. I can come up with a bajillion things, but I had to narrow it down to 3. All to say, developing your kids in really awesome ways does not take a ton of energy or time or commitment. You can facilitate these essential developmental skills in really simple ways. So don't feel gimmicked by the current toy market because it is so tempting and I have fallen prey to these gimmicks myself, but hopefully it relieves some pressure. Your kids are developing in really meaningful ways. It just takes a little bit of intentionality, and I know you can do it. For more practical ways to develop really awesome kids, please continue to follow along. Please hit the like button if you found this at all helpful, and even hit subscribe to this channel. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I will see you guys next time.